Anyway, so with your carbon farming initiative, I'm curious. I'm from Southwest Queensland. It's a big carbon sink to mulga farming out there. How is it that it's good for the country to pay farmers to basically not chop down mulga trees or just lock up mulga, in the sense that the mulga grows anyway? The mulga was already growing, and now we're going to pay some farmers to basically pretend to be growing the mulga that was already growing. I mean, isn't this an arbitrary thing now whereby we're going to increase the cost of energy as some farmers are actually paid an enormous amount of money to do what the Mother Nature was doing naturally anyway?
So, Senator, I guess I'm not sure I accept the premise of the question. I mean, the whole point of the Australian Carbon Credit Unit scheme, which I think is the scheme that you're alluding to here, is to offer credits for changes in practices or behaviours that lead to abatement, either a reduction in emissions or the avoidance of emissions. And the project methods that are developed under the scheme are very much designed with that in mind. They're designed to be consistent with the offset integrity principles, which go to issues such as ensuring that the activity is actually additional.
And that's what these organisations are doing. They're paying farmers to basically grow mulga trees that were growing anyway, and that's an offset. So they're paying to earn carbon credits to offset against their emissions.
Well, I think the point, Senator, is that they're not paying for something that would have happened anyway. That's the scheme is designed to ensure that's not happening.
Well, that is happening. I know for a fact it is happening.
Well, Senator, I mean, I don't have the evidence or information.
Well, it's very simple. The mulga trees grow naturally, and you're paying farmers to basically grow the mulga trees that were already growing anyway.
If I can just speak up on that. So I'm Eliza Murray, General Manager of Strategy at the Climate Change Authority. At the moment, we're reviewing the ACCU scheme and we're looking to build on the work that was done for the Chubb review on this issue. And one of the recommendations of the Chubb review was to administer the human-induced regeneration method in a way that ensures the projects conform with the current intent. And part of that is making sure that that the project area can be expected to become native forest or attain forest cover and permanently store carbon as a direct result of the project management action. The government's currently looking into administering the recommendations of the Chubb review, so that's something that we haven't delved into in more detail at this time because it's too early for us to review the progress in responding and implementing that recommendation of the Chubb review.
Thank you. So the mulga's fully grown by the time it's 20 to 25 years old and it kills all the ground cover underneath it, so you just end up with red soil. Are you offsetting the amount of carbon stored in those mulga trees? Are you offsetting against that the actual amount of carbon that isn't being stored in the grass and the damage to the top cover, the soil cover, as you actually get much more erosion because the water won't sink into it? Seals, the ground cover seals, and the water won't sink into the ground.
So, Senator, two aspects to that. I think that the first one would be that that's really a question for the people who are estimating Australia's emissions. So that's sort of a greenhouse gas inventory question. Otherwise, specific concerns about what is or isn't happening under particular projects or under particular methods in the ACCU scheme are sort of a question for the Clean Energy Regulator, which is responsible for administering the scheme, but also for the Emissions Reduction Assurance Committee, which I think will soon become the Carbon Abatement Integrity Committee, which is responsible for advising the government on the integrity
that's
of
great,
specific
but
methods.
that's fine if you want me to do that. It's just that your page says that you make reviews and recommendations on carbon farming.
So we are responsible every 3 years for undertaking a review of the operation of the ACCU scheme.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, thanks, Chair.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.